Barbarian.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spin Rack. I'm here with my boys Petey and Cal. Hey everybody, today we're going to be talking about
what's going on? What's going on?
In NYCC 2025.
Cal,
what's going on? Why is he slashing his
how are you doing?
I'm ready to rock. How about you?
All right, there we go. Now go. Good Lord.
What happened?
You not letting us say hello.
Again. You power tripping again. If you don't forget our names, you just totally forget we're here, right?
I can see you.
What about the people?
Let's start again. Hey everybody, let's cut, and let's start one more time.
Cutting. You made this. I said you saw it, and you decided to do it, so the people have to suffer through this nonsense.
Oh my gosh. So we're talking about NYCC 2025. Thundarr the Barbarian. They say he's slashing into his own comic book sales. Really, Petey, can you enlighten us on this madness?
Jason Aaron is a fan, and he is doing some Thundarr, the Thundarr from the cartoon. Obviously, they have some that
Jason.
It's
like Jason Aaron is doing this? Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Come on.
Man.
I knew you weren't going to get past that. I knew you weren't going to get past
that. Man. I wanted to read this now. Man. All right.
So
can't have everything, right?
I'll still read it.
The art is not going to necessarily look like that, but we do have a great cover, and then we have some alternate covers where we also Mara's favorite, Rob Liefeld's doing a cover, and the insides look. I think they have something. They look interesting. They look like close, a little more close to what we have. I think obviously because cartoon, the production level was kind of rushed to get it done, but we got Thundarr as a comic book. It'd be worth a check out for me. And you can start from the cartoon that was in the 80s. I think, Cal, do you want to talk about that? And I'll chime in.
Let's see. If you saw the original series, a lot of fun. What was it? 3 seasons. And this is a dystopian future setup where it's a world, as they said in the opening, of sorcery and super science. So you had guys flying around in anti-grav vehicles, and at the same time, there were sorcerers conjuring stuff out of thin air. But one man burst his bonds, and that was Thundarr with his fabulous sun sword, Ukla the Mock, and Princess Ariel, as they just kept riding around, getting into adventure after adventure. There was really no point to the show. Now that I think about it, there was really no point to the show. They just kind of got into an adventure after an adventure. There wasn't a lot of backstory. We didn't know a lot about the characters, but everybody was tuning in. It was just fun. What had happened was they wanted to somehow. Do you remember what was the year the show debuted?
No, I don't know if I can find out. So just keep going.
I don't know. It was like 81.
It debuted in 1980 to 81.
Thank you.
Okay, so around that time. So Star Wars was still very prevalent, and they wanted to get something like that up off the ground. They couldn't do it. And then for a while, they had been trying to do something with Conan, but they deemed that Conan was too violent, so they didn't do it. And then elements from both of those got together, maybe some other stuff too. And so we got Thundarr the Barbarian. The clearest indicator of that is the sun sword, which is the lightsaber. And then, of course, Thundarr's outfit, where he's dressed, he's called Thundarr the Barbarian instead of in Conan. The irony is, years later, we would actually get a Conan series, Conan the Adventurer, which was just Conan. And they didn't think that was too violent. So I don't know if people were just like, yeah, we don't care what the kids see, or they said, no, we can actually do this. He just doesn't have to go around killing people. And so we got that later on. But I mean, there was never a comic book spinoff of Thundarr in real time, meaning there was nothing to really go along with the series. I don't remember toys or anything else to support the show outside of it just being on. But for 3 seasons, this was a regular staple for kids. People liked it. And I don't know if you'll be able to pull something like this off today, because again, this was, you tuned in, you got a story every week. That was it. There were never, I don't remember if there was ever a 2-parter, ever any backstory like the origin of Thundarr. It just tune in and you got a new episode. Very much in the vein of what was the one they did? We used to do a Hanna-Barbera. Oh, this is still Hanna-Barbera. The Herculoids, where you
Hmm.
just got this whole setup, and you're like, well, how do these guys? What's going on? Do we know what's going? No, just tune in. Just tune in, see what the heck happens.
And
Yeah,
there's
so
also
they never. You're right. They never did have a toy, but they did come out with a board game in '82. And Toonami now in 2003. Sorry, did come out with characters according to Wikipedia. The three main characters had their own toy. Transfer can find them. Shoot the picture to you, Peter.
also I say, even though I think Jack Kirby gets the feel of he was the almost co-creator because it was kind of done in his style with bulky type of
Yeah.
characters, but ultimately
Thanks for that.
he was really the spot illustrator. So they kind of bulked up. I don't know. I know Gil Kane was also in the studios doing illustrations too, but Kirby had a bunch of things. Even there's someone similar to Darkseid, which I don't remember seeing the episode, but you see some of they had a card series that took all of I think what was it Ruby Spears. They took all of his spot illustrations, and some of them which made the cartoons that he did with Ruby Spears, and some that didn't. But they were like tons of those cards that came out in like the '90s. So you got to see some of that stuff, but the kind of the bulky way, so it kind of looked like Kirby co-created it, which I mean, obviously you use the style, you think of Kirby immediately. So, and even there, you got Kirby Street in the corner of this thing. So,
Yeah, you do.
Michael Cho is kind of giving you that feel from the cartoon. The art from the comic that we see isn't really using that, which would have been a lot of fun. But it's a even who's it? Space Ghost got updated look with the stuff they did with him too. So, not to saying they had to, but it is what it is.
I put in the toys and the board game.
Okay, hold on. Toys. It's not Todd toys. We don't want them. I'm just kidding. So yeah, you got some toys.
It's
Rats.
sold out, as you see, 2003. I know, Cal, you were a collector. Would it have been worth? I guess it would be because it's rare vintage, right? Hold on to those toys.
Here we go.
Cal, we lost Cal. That's
Well,
okay. As usual, I will speak for Cal when we need to speak to Cal.
we will not speak for Cal.
No, no, you will not. You will not speak for Cal. I was just muted for a second.
Oh, I thought we had an agreement
Repeat.
that
Oh, no, no. Repeat the
Would
question,
you
please.
would you did you want to get these? Would you have these as a collection or something that's a collector's item to you?
yeah, they're
Oh
sold
man,
out.
see, I would, but I got so much stuff already. I've had to like restrain myself from what I buy. It's like it's only going to be Superman related stuff. Even like Transformers, I used to have a collection where I had like every Transformer, and I couldn't maintain it. It was just too much stuff, so I had to. And I got rid of everything, and now all I'll collect is Optimus Prime figures, and maybe if it's something else that I really like a another character I'm partial to, like Omega Supreme or Jetfire,
Megaton.
then I'll do that. These look good. I mean, it's not even like collecting like when we were kids, we actually take them out the package. Now collecting is you better keep it in the package. Don't take it out. I'm surprised though, because now if you look at the McFarlane stuff, they'll have them in package and they'll have them already posed, so
Yeah,
they look dynamic. So you don't get tempted like, let me take this out of the box. None of these kids are savvy too. They're like, are you kidding? Take this out of the package, it won't be MIP. I'm losing money. I'm keeping this in the package.
Yeah, couldn't do that. I
but
held
didn't Kirby also do the Kamani or Kamadi comic?
Commandy,
Commandy,
Commandy.
Commandy, Commandy. You sound like you're fresh off the boat. Commandy.
My God, my God. Comic book series. I mean, didn't it take a lot from that, or no?
No,
Commandy
I
was
don't.
the
I
boy,
don't think
the
so.
boy of Yeah, you know what?
Because
You're
Commandy,
definitely right. Yeah.
Commandy, the Commandy was gestated from an idea. DC was trying to get the rights to Planet of the Apes,
Mhm.
and they weren't able to get Planet of the Apes. Marvel got it, and so DC was like, with Kirby, he was like, "Hey, you do something?" He's like, "All right." So he did Commandy. So that's really more the origins of that. I'm not so.
Because it
See, I
takes
would
place in
like to.
post-apocalyptic future, and they
I
have
know, but it's
That's the
they have a
similarity.
taking
younger
That's the
version.
taking
similarities.
he has very similar look.
That's it. No, that's
Yeah.
Well,
one
if
thing is
Kirby if
cool.
Kirby designs it, but this wouldn't be the first. This wouldn't be the first type of show or series to take place in a post-apocalyptic
Yeah,
future.
yeah.
So I'm not. If you had like some of the characters, because I know it's in some of the instances, like with He-Man, they borrowed like some of the looks for like from the New Gods in terms of some of the characters. I don't remember specifically with Thundarr. If we see something like the Lion Men or the Tiger Men, those type of characters straight from Commandy, no problem. I just don't want to say yes, and then when you go through it, it's like, well, this is just a post-apocalyptic future. That's not really specific to any particular series, including Command.
Yeah, and the other part is, there was definitely Commander being the only boy besides, I think, and then you had, was it Ben, was it the suit, the metal guy, but everyone else was creatures. So like the Planet of the Apes, instead of having just apes, they were all different type of,
Yeah,
animals on two legs, that sort of thing.
yeah. And
Describe.
we still got the Star Wars influence with the we still have the Star Wars influence with Thundarr, where Princess Ariel is Princess Leia, and Ukla the Mok is Chewbacca. So I would still want to see. Man, I can't. I didn't read through all of Commandy, just a couple. I'm just feeling with like a few issues here and there. But a few of the characters I know are staples. So if I saw some characters running around like that, even if it was just one episode, I would be willing to give it. I'm just not 100% sure.
And I'll just put up.
Unlike other people on other shows who talk about comic books, make generalizations that are wrong.
Here we go. So we
Thank
had
God we're not
this,
on
which
the
is
show.
kind of like Kirby-esque type of production cell that they had. Which is, I don't think this is Kirby from the time, but obviously it's like you definitely have that feel from this production
Yeah.
cell.
Once you see that, not necessarily Ariel or even Ukla the Mok, but Thundarr, that positioning right there with the hand like it's reaching out of the page, like it's coming right at the reader, that's Kirby.
Um,
Oh, and
so
the bent
get back,
leg, that's also Kirby.
getting back to so why are you saying are they saying in the article that the comic book sales were suffer? What are they talking about?
No, he's saying he's
What?
doing this new series. He's just doing a new series and his interest in the thing. And Jason Aaron is obviously a big name, and he's doing Thundarr. Unless there was something else that you wanted to find out about it.
No, but I'm just saying, why are we talking about slashes into his own comic series? So his own comic series, what are his ongoing comic series right now for Jason Aaron?
Boom.
Absolute Superman.
Oh, sorry. There you go.
And did they mean slash like I don't think they do they mean slash like crossover or mean like this is going to actually cut into his overall output? I think those are two different things.
Yeah, so that's the question. What's going on there, Petey?
Sorry, say that again. What's the question again?
When they say
I think he has a
slash, do
slash of
they
the
mean
sword. Right?
all right, well see there you go then.
The barbarian. You think he's gonna slash and I'm gonna stop doing this stuff I know is gonna make me money to do something I'm taking a chance on? I doubt
Oh,
it.
so I mean, I must
You
misread
were
that. I was
you
thinking
were almost there. You were almost there, Petey. You should have just said what you were going to say.
What was that?
It's like you think I'm going to stop doing these series that make money just to do this series? They're not going to make any money. This is a what is it? This is a labor of love right here. You know Thundar's not going to make any money.
I think it will work, especially with Jason Aaron. Got a hat hand like that.
Jason Aaron as a name may bring people in, but Thundarr as a concept has not been something in the forefront of any kid or any reader since 1983. So, how many Thundarr the Barbarian fans are there out there who would say, "Oh yeah, let me pick this up"?
Right, but he's doing
If
Superman that's popular, and then probably some of those readers will say they're interested. He's doing the Teenage Mutant Ninja that he's doing,
Mhm.
and so that may be popular.
all which have good, strong fan bases and have had fan bases for, in one case, over 80 years. What I would ask is who's publishing it? Is it Dynamite?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, you got a shot then, because Dynamite. That's what I was thinking. Dynamite does stuff like this, and they're usually pretty good at getting these series
I
up off the ground and publicizing them.
Yeah.
I mean, they just did. I think the most recent one was Thundercats. Oh my goodness, and I'm a Thundercats fan. I can't read the series because there's just too many. They put out like variant after variant after variant.
So,
It's like,
yeah,
look, I just can't get into it. It's too much money. I'm gonna have to wait till the series finally ends, and then I can buy everything on the back end.
no, you're right about that. The covers are fantastic. I mean, I'm like, damn, why do they do so many covers? You know?
If you're a collector like me, and then I'm a completist. So if I usually get cover, if I usually buy the cover, the variant, try to get the whole thing, and I know this because if I don't, later on when I'm looking for it, that's when I'm like, man, this was $10. What do you mean I got to pay 60 for it now? You can't find one. And so like, okay, I usually just try to get everything in one fell swoop, but they really make it difficult when you have, I mean, Marvel always goes overboard with it, but when you have like 10, 15 covers for the first issue, it's just excessive. It's aggressive.
I mean, but they've been doing it for a while. I mean, the Red Sonja, the Ghost, the Space Ghost. You know, they got some. Whoever the cover artists, they got some really good cover artists. And I give them credit for that. You know? They also have a King Kong comic. How do they also have a King Kong comic? Is King Kong in the public domain? Jesus,
Yeah.
everybody got King Kong comics now.
Remember,
Godzilla comics.
King Kong is from the early 1900s.
Yeah.
So King Kong has been public domain for a while. You just have to make certain it's your King Kong, and it doesn't look like or commit any actions of King Kong. Your biggest competition right now is Legendary. So as long as it doesn't look or share any attributes with Legendary, you should be okay. Or any of the previous King Kongs for that matter.
Yeah, so Dynamite is definitely kicking it.
I think this is why you kind of feel that it also because they have the trademark. I think actually the Commandy was in the 70s and the Planet of the Apes obviously was in the what's that thing in the was it late 60s like 68 or something
Hmm.
like that. So then when he did Commandy he put just like the Planet of the Apes he put the Statue of Liberty underwater on the he put it underwater whereas where they say if there was some sort of cataclysmic thing New York would be underwater and then you would see this so they also did it in but that's the thing in all these post-apocalyptic things it's a trademark since the what's the name since but there's some Kirby spot illustrations that he did for Commandy. Sorry, you got for Thundarr. You got me saying it now. Excuse my French. Anyway.
Well, Cal's making you say something again?
No, you and
It's you. It's you.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even have it on the right screen. Sorry. So here's some spot illustrations by Kirby.
Naming the good guy.
So we have this one. We have the Statue of Liberty one, which is in the open.
I remember that episode.
Yep.
Oh, I don't. I just remember seeing it in the open. And I was like, I want to see that.
No, there was that episode where they're traveling, and it's like one shot to the next. So you'll see like something in the background. You should be able to recognize it. I think it was like at one point Statue of Liberty. Then it might have been like a broken Leaning Tower of Pisa or something. So even so it really to get an idea like, hey, everything's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Then we also had this one, which is really a lot of Kirby in it.
Kirby-esque.
Who's that? Alfredo Alca, that guy who did a lot of inking during this period for Kirby. It might be his inking. And there's of course the man. So yeah. We got
so here's a big question for all you Kirby guys out there. How come you guys don't extol the virtues of this particular series? There's so much Kirby influence in here. Not that I'm trying to pick a fight with anybody, but there's so much Kirby influence in here. None of you guys ever talk about this, or maybe his most directly the series that is totally 100% Kirby, which is New Gods. Okay, I never hear you guys talk about these things for whatever particular reason. Captain Victory doesn't come up. So why don't you guys talk about this stuff? For some reason, there's only a time period from 1961 to 63 that you guys seem to be concerned about. Why don't you guys, this is you can see the influence. Why aren't you guys concerned with this? I wonder why.
What are you trying to say, Cal? Who are you trying to piss off?
I think it's pretty clear what he's trying to say.
I don't think it's clear what he's trying to say. So we'll pretend what he said wasn't said.
Okay? I'll be more clear. They're only concerned about Jack Kirby's contributions and Jack Kirby's influence when it comes to Marvel Comics 1961, 1963, and only so they can, be in some moral outrage for him. They're not really concerned about him as a creator, about his creative output. They never talk about his contributions. They don't talk about Captain America. Okay? Jack Kirby's a co-creator of Captain America. They don't talk about that. Okay? It's always the other stuff. They want to give him everything except the stuff that he actually did. Fully. That stuff nobody wants to talk about. So the next time you're over here extolling Kirby's virtues, and I know who you are, I know who you guys are. All right, I'm gonna drop Thundarr the Barbarian. See if you even know about it. Probably don't.
Well, that's the other thing. That's probably his connection to it. Probably one of his bigger things that came out there. Because I think a lot of the Marvel stuff early on were they weren't out there. Fantastic Four was one season. I'm not even sure, even though I've watched those Marvel cartoons 3 million times. This was probably the biggest thing. Even though Command D almost got a cartoon, Marvel wanted Devil Dinosaur because they wanted something like Command D because they heard that Command D almost got a cartoon. Of course, then Marvel, allowed people to think, oh, he just, he doesn't know, prehistoric history. Why is a human with the dinosaur? Like, no, it's supposed to be like something that kids could watch too. So that's why they got the humans in there. But anyway, you have Commandy, which was 3 seasons. It felt like it was on for longer, but I know how the reruns go. I don't know if they can, count the reruns, or maybe it was short and they.
See, Mars got to you. You said Commandy again.
Yes, I don't know what's the matter. It's Thundarr.
You were supposed to say Thundarr. You said Commandy. See what you're doing? See?
Right.
And he's smiling. That was his plan all along. I'm going to keep
I'm
doing
not
this,
smiling.
right?
I'm not smiling.
Right. One mind at a time, right? One mind at a
Thundarr
time,
was
right?
on for 3 seasons, and it definitely has the mark of Kirby. So.
Thundarr was on for 3 seasons. I thought it was on for
Felt like longer, but who knows?
Well, that's because in the old days, look, if you ever saw Hanna-Barbera's World of Super Adventure, and anybody listening to the show has heard me mention it before, you would have thought Hanna-Barbera's World of Super Adventure was like something current because they showed it all the time. And most of the kids who grew up with it, that was something that had come out almost 20 years prior.
Yeah.
Okay, it was like 20 years prior at the end of the day. And they had a ton of cartoons. But what had happened was they took all those cartoons and they put it into like an action hour. So, we're thinking, oh, this is like the World of Super Adventure. Like, no, Fantastic Four and the Herculoids, all those things, they had their own shows. And then they just like, okay, we'll put this together, making an action hour out of the whole thing. One episode from these guys, one episode from but you would have thought it was current. But they were very good at repackaging things, spreading it out. There would even be like I don't know if this was a widespread practice, but there would also be like the mystery episode, and this would be the episode that they didn't run as much as the other ones. So like it would be say like an episode 5. Episode 5 didn't get run as much as the others. So when you tuned in, if you saw episode 5, it was like, oh, this might be like really new for somebody, or it might be the episode that you were actually waiting for. They did this with the Fantastic Four 90s series, where for some reason, and I don't know why they did this, the episode with the Black Panther, I think it aired once on the East Coast, or at least once in New York City, and then they never aired it again. And I'd watch the series where they would, it's like, okay, it's got to be episode 5. So after 4 weeks, I'm expecting to see episode 5. Never showed it. I had to literally buy a VHS copy of it from somebody out in the Midwest in order so I could see that. But these were the practices they did to try to recycle it, keep it fresh. But the other thing is that guys cycled out. So by the time, a guy was 12, 13, he wasn't necessarily watching the cartoons anymore. The kids who came in, this was brand new for them. It didn't matter. This was brand new. And that was pretty much a staple going through the 80s. Once the 90s come, we start getting more new content. That changes.
He said, I'm looking at it on Wikipedia, and they said it was on for 2 seasons and then reruns in the 3rd. He said, despite decent ratings, the show was canceled as Paramount want to make more room in the programming schedule for Laverne and Shirley in the Army. So, and
I read that.
Are you serious?
That doesn't make any sense. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That's
Oh,
what it said.
okay.
And it's as
The
you said
one
earlier. You said Marty Pascal. He's also,
yeah,
in the creation of it. So you had said it before.
wasn't a
Yeah.
actually no, I remember that because Happy Days was big. They gave the Fonz a cartoon.
Yeah, yeah, he had, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
they all got cartoons at the end of the day. So it was like, okay, we lost Thundarr to Laverne and Shirley.
That's the cartoon that nobody remembers. I'll also complain because I think I was in band when I think no, I wasn't in band when Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends started, but during the middle of it, I was in band, borough-wide band, and I was going all my Saturdays. I would miss all the cartoons, and then when I'd be home, I'd go watch it, and the band was over. It'd be all reruns, and I'd be like, when are we gonna get a new one? And then when I didn't have band anymore, I go home and now I can catch up. It's like, why are there no new episodes? I don't want to see Firestar in the because we didn't have the official like the way the cartoons were on the weekdays, which we knew were reruns. Like, why is the Saturday? Why there no new Spider-Man? Not Firestar and the X-Men. I joined the X-Men.
And
I'm gonna kill
it's
myself.
also such a weird time too because now kids will know that a show is canceled. I had no idea what the hell.
Yeah.
I didn't know a show was canceled. I just know we just weren't getting new episodes, but I was gonna wait and hope, and
Yep,
eventually we
that's
get some new episodes. And then what happened? You didn't get any new episodes. They just stopped playing it altogether.
yeah,
They
yeah.
just
There's
stopped playing it.
no explanation. Well, there's no internet, so you couldn't tell you what was going on, right?
Nope.
You
There
know?
was this. Did either of you see Mighty Max?
I never
Yes.
watched it. I heard it, but I never watched it.
Mighty Max is an awesome series. Awesome series. Like 13 episodes for the first season, something like 50 some odd for the second season. It was supposed to be supportive of a toy. Never played with that toy, but that series was great. But it ends on a in a time in like a what is this called? It ends in a loop, like a time paradox, where it starts off pretty much where they began and they're doing the whole thing. Man, I was at university at the time this was going on, and me and my brother were so enthused by this. We must have watched through Mighty Max like 3 full times, hoping we would get some new episodes. Did it happen? No. One day they just stopped. That was it. They just stopped. But there was no way to know, like, hey, this is canceled. It's not coming back. We didn't know about writing in or any of this type of stuff. Now, oh, forget about it. Forget about it. It's just a totally different time period. You all you can do as a kid is just keep watching, and hope. That's all you can do.
So, gents, what do you guys feel about this new Thundarr comic? Is this something you want to check out and support?
Um, I I'll
It's going to be a
maybe check out
flash
the
in the
first
pan.
episode and see
Issue.
see how it goes because they also pointed out on Wikipedia, which I forgot that Alex Toth, he was the one who was the initial designer, but he couldn't stay on the show, and Jack Kirby was brought in, and most of the villains and the wizards and that stuff was designed by Kirby, and that sort
Give
of.
pe-
Hmm?
give the people a treat. Give the people a treat. Alex Toth wasn't able to design here, but what long running series did Alex Toth design and is still affiliated with?
With the Space Ghost.
Superheroes. No, the other one. Super
X-Men?
Friends.
Oh yeah, yeah, the Super Friend, definitely, yeah.
Super Friends.
He also did some. He did. I wish they would put out. I've only seen a couple of his storyboards for the Super Friends, and I'll be like, oh man, I would love to see a ton of those. But that's it's funny. I used to going back to those things. I think for me the Super Friends always held up for so long, except for when it became superpowers because it became more Firestorm and Cyborg, and I want the brain guys. Put the main guys back, not the kids. And the kids are like, this is doing whole stories about these two. Like, stop it. But anyway, yeah.
All right. So, Cal, what do you think? Bring it back. You ready? You're anxious. You want to see this? You want to read it?
Uh, do I really have to answer that question?
Yeah, you do. You got
I
great
don't care.
covers. You don't care. Okay, there it is.
I don't care.
Nice answer. So, hey,
I mean, oh no, no, go back, go ahead, stop, go back. No, no, go forward. Right there, right there. You see the image right there with the moon and the
yeah,
meteor?
Yes.
yes.
It's hard for people to see it. We don't. Yeah, yes, yeah. Right there, right there. If you ever watched the series, that was the captivating moment. This explained everything. There was no grand explanation as to exactly what happened. There was this meteor, it went between the Earth and the moon, and that was it. That's all you got. So because of that, we got magic. That's how we got magic.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So hey, if you like what you hear, give us a comment, thumbs up, subscribe, spin a rack.
We
Out.
are